What you listening to, son?
Okay, we're gonna rag on religion a little bit, okay? Here we go. Hot take incoming. American conservative Christianity is fucking cringe. And it's about time that, like, we kind of, listen, we've come to a point in American history, I feel like, where we may as well call American Christianity terrorism. There we go. I said it, and I'm sticking to it. I'm not changing that. Get triggered if you want, conservatives. You guys are literally a bigger threat than extremist Islamic extremists. So, boom. There we go. I said it. Not hyperbole, by the way. Reason why I say that. A bold statement to make in Ohio? Man, fuck Ohio. Kind of. Ohio is for lovers. Cut my wrists and black my eyes. They came from Ohio. Fuck off. You need us. Unfortunately. Did they come from Ohio? Fuck. No. No? Yes. Hawthorne Heights, okay? Maybe it's not the same band. They came from Ohio. You need Ohio for emo to exist, goddammit, okay? And don't make any jokes about how you don't need emo music. I'll pee in your wrists. Hang on. I will go ahead and look this up right now. This is gonna be an argument. This is. Oh wow. Oh wow. That's interesting. That's interesting. Oh wow. Look at that. Oh wow. As a matter of fact, they're from my fucking city. Wow. Look at that. You need us. Elden Ring actually takes place in Ohio. That's right. Look it up. Google it. I don't want to get on this stun lock. Okay, listen.
Following the football games, started praying in the field. And over a period of time, students started to join him, other players, other people, and it was all on school time, right? And the school said...
Before what the school said, let me make one thing clear real quick before we continue on this segment, okay? The statement I made is not because of this video. This is just to start out this segment. I don't know how long this is going to be, okay? There's a couple different things that we need to go over as far as this goes, but let me point out one thing real quick. This particular story really highlights the entitlement found in most overly religious zealots in this country. The country belongs to them. If you believe in Jesus, you're the one that's going to heaven, and the rest of us are going to burn in hell, right? Or we're going to be left behind when the rapture comes, which apparently wasn't even mentioned in the Bible. I don't know where the fuck they got that idea, but whatever. Anyways, they're better than everyone else. They're better. I'm not saying all of them, but like I've mentioned in a previous video, I'll say 10% of them are redeemable and are actually good people. The rest of them, they're like this. They keep on proving it over and over and over again through their actions. After all, actions do speak louder than words. So let's see what actions they've been taking.
We can't have you doing this anymore because you're doing this as the coach. You're not doing this. It's not a random thing. It's not an ecumenical prayer. It is a prayer to Jesus. And there is reason to believe that if you are on the football team and you're not going out and praying to Jesus, that you're going to start to get stigmatized on the team. And we cannot, as a public school, as an extension of the government, endorse a religion.
Cannot endorse a religion, right? The First Amendment clearly says free expression of religion. That means any, all, none. Doesn't matter. Whatever you believe in or lack thereof, You're allowed to here, right? First Amendment of the Constitution, okay? And I find it interesting that it's the First Amendment, okay? It obviously places great importance upon it. Who is the crowd that always ends up screeching to the top of their lungs about religious freedom? Who is it? We know who it is. We know which demographic is always placing themselves upon a pedestal and always making it like as if they're the most persecuted people. Dude, come the fucking fuck on, dude. If you're not a Christian in this country, you're a pariah.
This was in Washington State.
Oh.
And so he was fired. And this was
because he refused, or was he warned?
He was refused to stop this week, this prayer after every game.
Now, again, with that being said, on a little side note, I personally, okay, willing to make a concession. I personally would not care at all if they also shut the fuck up about Kaepernick. I don't care if you want to pray to Jesus on the fucking football field. I don't care. I don't care. But what makes me care is when someone like Kaepernick or when some black football players are kneeling during the national anthem, to protest for Black Lives Matter, because, funny enough, they do. Suddenly, everyone's up in fucking arms, dude. Christians, I have a fucking question for you, real quick. Who is your God? Jesus? Yahweh? Jehovah? Or the fucking United States? Because, to me, if I remember correctly from my Catholic upbringing, idolatry is a really fucked up sin. So, maybe you need to pick your fucking battles, bruh. Take a good hard look at yourself and be like, I'm starting to worship patriotism more so than, love thy neighbor as thyself. For fuck's sake, dude, fucking pick a lane.
And prayer to Jesus, it's not an ecumenical prayer, just we should say. And he was fired. This is almost, I think, in 2015, he was fired. And he's been pursuing this case. It's at the Supreme Court. Here is Fox's Kennedy. Now, I remember back when she was a libertarian.
Right to religious speech.
Yes, and the superintendent has to prove that he was ostracizing players and, not favoring them if they didn't participate. So far, what I have seen, they have not proven that. This will be a very important case for religious liberty, but also maybe a great time in our country's history where we rethink whether or not we have public schools. Maybe we should not have the government involved in education at all.
Ayo? No public schools. Do we remember that time when the Board of Education lady, Betsy DeVos, during the Trump presidency, she was put in front of Congress, and she was questioned on a myriad of different things, where she outright says that her purpose on this planet is to usher forth the kingdom of God. The education lady. Usher forth the kingdom of God. And now we got rhetoric like this, such as getting rid of public schools. In a secular society, or what's supposed to be a secular society, like the United States. Freedom of speech, freedom of speech, freedom of speech. Unless it's not my speech, then I'm going to call you a commie and a pedophile and a groomer and, try to rally up everyone to literally kill you and your family.
so parents and teachers and administrators can make those decisions themselves instead of having the government impose it on them, because it is the public school aspect of this that is creating the legal challenge.
And what do we do with the people who can't afford private? Like, what does that look like? Because each state allots some money, so they would get that money, I would assume. Isn't that what Florida?
One of the actual few reasonable voices, or at least times of voicing reason on fucking Fox News. Yeah, because like not everyone can fucking afford to send their kids to a fucking private school. Are you kidding me, dude?
We could do vouchers. That's what Florida did.
That's what Florida wanted to do.
Yeah, we could entirely rethink. Okay, I'll tell you why I say that. It's because the two most powerful teachers unions in the country are opposed to Coach Kennedy. They are using their heft and their influence to make sure that he loses this case.
Emily, you've dealt with the ninth.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Did I miss? Can we rewind that part to the part where she addresses what do you do? Because the vouchers, let's be clear here. The vouchers will create a multi-tiered system.
Yes.
Where only the people who get the $2,000. Now, look around, see the private schools around you.
Mm-hmm.
Which one of those costs $2,000?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Maybe you can find a parochial school that is subsidized by the church that
AKA
costs $2,000 a year. But for the most part, no. And so what you will have are basically detention facilities that will be set up for everybody who's not using that voucher to subsidize going to a 10 or 15 or an 8 or a 25 or $30,000 a year private school. That's basically the world in which they're looking for.
Greg Craft, serious question. Do you actually believe any of these people are religious? Because I don't. I've met serious religious people, and they're like monks or nuns. And they sound like the Santa Claus guy we saw interviewed by Inkaino, I suppose that you were talking about.
Whatever a mythical story, they heard from when they were a little kid. But you actually have a very extensive and a very impressive resume.
Oh, it's, Sarah Palin versus Santa Claus, blah, blah, blah. And I figured, well, not really.
Can't believe I'm about to be the guy that's gonna say this. There is a difference between being spiritual and being religious. The people that you're talking about, some of them, not even all of them, are spiritual people, okay? I mean, you don't even need to really find that in religious figures. There are atheists who are spiritual, in the sense that they are altruistic. They're selfless, and they try to make everyone around them happy. Make all parties involved prosperous in one fashion or another. And not all monks and nuns are exactly spiritual either. They are indeed, yes, religious, no different than some of the people that we're hearing being talked about here and that will be talked about in the rest of this segment. They're religious in the sense that Think about the Jedi for a second, okay? Full screen, bitch. Beep. We have a history in Star Wars where Force users were one faction long time ago, and yes, indeed, in a galaxy far away. They were one faction. There was no Jedi or Sith. They were one entity. And they ended up breaking off because of some very apparent philosophical disagreements. There is a big difference between Jedi and Sith, but they all use the Force. And that, in a similar sense to that, we have spiritual people and religious people. Religious people let's be quite frank, are both the Jedi and the Sith. Some of them might be better than others, but that doesn't mean that some of their beliefs aren't still cemented in like fucked up outlooks on life. Then you have the gray Jedi, who are like, I'm not going with the Jedi, I'm not going with the Sith, I am neither light side nor dark side, I just want to explore the Force on my own and in a balanced manner. Now we're talking about spiritual people, you know. I was a little worried at the start, to be honest. No. I am a Star Wars connoisseur, my friend. In Star Wars, you got the Sith, who are... they're dicks. And then you have the Jedi, who are overly zealous, fucking, They caused Darth Vader. Like, they are the cause. Like, they couldn't give Anakin the emotional security and the companionship that he really required after literally ripping a child from his slave mom and not freeing her, by the way, when they have all the resources they could fucking want or need in the entire galaxy. What the fuck? Jedi are fucked. So they caused Darth Vader, and the Sith cultivate and further manipulate Darth Vader and your various other Sith Lords, you know, and keep pushing that unhealthy and toxic, I guess, psychological framework. And if you just put them back together for a second, you have your American Christian, basically. Some might be more virtuous than others. It doesn't mean that, like, they're not thinking shittily or causing needless suffering.
On one hand, they don't want anybody, they want to live in a tax-free state. But on the other hand, they want to have all of their private even if it's a parochial school, it is ultimately funded by the state. It is funded by tax dollars.
This is the
dilemma.
People can go. There was an interview done years and years ago with Trump's former education secretary, Betsy DeVos, and her husband.
Thank you. Yes.
Who said explicitly, I don't have a problem with public education. We have a problem with public schools. So they want public education insofar as they want this tax money to be taken in by the government and then redistributed for this very reason. They want it to go to parochial schools. They want it to go to religious schools. Mm-hmm. And if some goes to some secular private schools, all well and good. But this is the agenda. This is the First Amendment. Now, if it is the case that they cannot prove that players on the team felt ostracized if they were not part of the prayer circle, then it is not a violation of the First Amendment. Then it is not an endorsement of religion. I find it really hard to believe.
It wasn't a personal thing. It was acting a leadership role as a coach on the field in front of others. Mm-hmm. You know, you have every right to pray to yourself. But I think what's happening with this case, with all the CRT stuff, with the school board recalls in California, with the trans, don't say gay issues and the trans issues, this is all about what Kennedy said. She said the quiet part out loud, teachers unions. And it's not that they're it's a couple things. It's not just that they're anti-union. Who are the largest public sector workers in this country? Public school teachers. What is the largest group of donations going to the Democratic Party? Teachers union money. They want to jujitsu this and go after all these different aspects, go for religion, push for charter schools, and go after the union movement, as well as a funding source of the Democratic Party. This is their goal. Their ultimate goal is to just eliminate and, of course, brainwash the next generation of conservatives.
And completely erase and rewrite history to their own making, so long as it benefits them. I mean, for fuck's sake, like, I honestly take that off the table for a second. You have motherfuckers in this country who believe the Earth is 6,000 years old. We have creationists in teaching positions. Let's not pretend we haven't heard the controversies of the past, and let alone that it's only in the past. I'm sure it's still happening in pockets somewhere here and there, but it was a huge thing years ago. Unironically, they won in 1984. Unironically, or A Brave New World. You know, they want the doublethink and the doublespeak to be accepted without question. They want true, fact-based, evidential, empirical knowledge to be replaced with what is either socially or prestigiously beneficial or profitable. And for the next generation and the generations that come after to be conditioned to just accept it. I don't mean to sound like Alex Jones here, but if you really want to look for who in the politosphere actually wants a new world order, who do you think it really is? It's the people who literally say it is their life's purpose to spread the word of Jesus. How is that not New World Order shit? It's so ironic, too. It's so ironic. These are the motherfuckers that push conspiracy theories constantly. These are the ones that constantly talk about how about the Democratic Pizzagate cabal or whatever the fuck. Like, these are the same people, and yet these are the people who wants everyone to be Christian, wants everyone to be conservative, wants everyone to be uniform to their exact molding, to their design. They're not for personal liberty. They're not for individual freedom. They want uniformity. Especially for women. They want you and them hips to be subject to the state. Period. 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 Dot fucking com. Apparently, she goes on some rant about the Catholic Church. Let's be fair. The Catholic Church could kind of go fuck itself. Kind of. Maybe. Perhaps. One of the most corrupt organizations in all of human history. You know, if I just so happened to, like, in my imagination, you know, to see it burn to the fucking ground, you know, I, in this dream world, was very happy.
There's like, oh, we have to love the family and this and that. Is that two-faced?
It's interesting. Thought we had a separation of church and state, right?
Yeah.
No, what it is it's Satan's controlling the church. The church is not doing its job.
Yes, but no. Have you ever just met someone who's like, they're right there, and then they skirt? You ever meet someone like that? She doesn't even get that close. She's like a worse version of that. It's more so like, I see a sign that says if I keep going, I might get to the right conclusion. I'm gonna pretend I never saw it, literally delete that out of my brain, and then make a U-turn on a one-way highway, and like totally kill people along the way, and blame them for doing so. How do you think the way that you think? Oh my god, oh my god. It's funny how we had a separation of church and state. It's funny. It's funny how we had a separation of church and state that you want to erode! Good God! One of the few people that actually, like, legit, like, triggers the fuck out of me. Oh my god. Like, just fucking Marjorie Titan Green here. Oh my god. To go along with what I just said about the Catholic Church, I had a dream one time. She was doing her stupid little pull-ups or whatever. That's totally not pull-ups, you know, it's more like just like wiggling on some metal bars, and it just so happened to fall. It's just, you know, I had a dream about this. It's not like I wish this upon them or anything. That's not at all the case. I just had a dream that they had this workout equipment fall on them.
And it's not adhering to the teachings of Christ.
Neither are you! I hate this woman so much. I hate this woman so much. I hate her, I hate her, I hate her. I hate her, I hate her, I hate her. Can we please get a plague of locusts?
What? Okay, so...
What? Oh, man.
What? Okay, so, first of all, we do have a separation of church and state. You should remember that.
Right.
When you're attacking Muslim members of Congress who get sworn in by putting their hand on the Quran.
Fucking Anna, yes! Yes! I'm sorry, I'm coming so much right now. Jesus Christ. First of all, she is fucking hot as fuck. Second of all, thank you. Thank you. Fuck.
Remember she like lost her mind over that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Even before she was elected to office, yeah.
People get to decide which religious text they put their hand on when they're sworn into Congress.
It has to be the Bible. It has to be the Bible. It has to be the Bible. Or else you're gonna destroy America. Sorry, I know that was a really accurate Marjorie Taylor Greene impression I just did just now. It's very scary for you, and I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to like give you that heart attack just now.
She like blew her mind. Anyway, but Satan is, I didn't know this, Satan is actually controlling the church. Now, John, why is that happening? And by the way, this is an interview with a right-wing activist named Michael Voris. She goes on to explain that what her read of Christianity is, and she ends up accusing the bishops of perverting the Constitution by apparently breaking laws. Let's watch.
I'm gonna need to breathe for a second to prepare for this. Oh my God. When someone is so dumb. When someone is so dumb. Marjorie Taylor Greene is proof that God doesn't exist. Or that God is evil. One of the two.
What they're doing by saying, oh, we have to love these people and take care of these migrants and love one another. This is loving one another. Yes, we are supposed to love one another, but their definition of what love one another means destroying our laws. It means completely perverting what our Constitution says. It means taking unreal advantage of the American taxpayer. And it means pushing a globalist policy on the American people and forcing loving one another means is the true meaning of loving one another, and loving others means that you also have to uphold the law.
That's what
I'm gonna have a fucking heart attack. Oh my God. I'm gonna have a brain aneurysm. Sussy Baka immediately. If you say, yeah, we should love one another. We should. But if you have a but added to we should love each other, shut up. Am I the only one who replaces globalists with Jews whenever someone like MTG says that? No, you're not the only one. I thought that too. Because that's what she means! That's what she means! She's a Nazi! Oh my God. Holy fuck. Oh. Woo, let's take it down to 2 real quick. Holy fuck. I literally find this creature so repugnant. Holy shit. She never ceases to amaze me and never ceases to like make me hate her more than I thought was the total amount I could ever feel. Holy shit. Holy fuck. Oh my God. And this is what this is the new Republican base now, okay? I want you to keep this in mind. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, Madison Cawthorn, okay? These are your new Republicans, okay? And it's not just elected representatives, it's the guy that goes to Walmart and gets fucking something. I don't fucking know. It's the fat guy. You know what I'm talking about. It's the fucking fat guy with the fucking way too thin American flag eagle with the Bud Light t-shirt, and he's got a cap on his head. He's got some like frilly white hair coming out and like 13 chins. Okay, he's that like that's Marjorie Taylor Greene. I really hope the Dems grow a fucking backbone really quick, because there's so much easy shit to attack them on. There's so much there's just so many easy targets. There's so many easy targets. It's like going to a gun range and like you literally set like the paper guy right in front of your fucking face, and then you're like, oh wow, hey, I can just, and like I'm ready to go, and you put it down. It's right there! It's right there! Oh my god. Are we really about to lose the midterms to people like Marjorie Taylor Greene? Holy fuck, dude.
I tell my husband at night, you know? You know, we're getting super intimate. I'm like, I love you, but remember, you gotta
Hey,
gotta
whoa,
obey
buddy.
my laws.
Commerce clause, okay? Cool your jets, buddy.
That's what love is really about. It's about following laws.
100%, yeah. I think so. She mockingly, like, I don't even know what her position is. I thought we had a separation of church and state, which she doesn't want there to be one, as you pointed out. So I don't even understand what point you're trying to make there. She believes that she is the person who can identify that Satan is controlling the Catholic Church. If you believe this stuff, if you believe in evangelical Christianity, whatever, do a little bit of searching into Marjorie Greene's personal life. You might find some stuff that's inconsistent with some of the teachings of the modern evangelical movement.
It's just thank you. Yes. Evangelicals, look into Marjorie Taylor Greene's past for yourself. You'll see that she's a fucking Babylonian whore!
But regardless, what she wants to do is claim two positions simultaneously depending on the issue. So she is the arbiter of all that is moral and good, okay? So she's the person that tells you what loving another person means, because she is the one who truly understands the Bible. But if you start to bring up, well, no, Jesus told us like to love each other, and we're obviously supposed to help these people. Do you think Jesus cares about national borders? Like God, who created everything, cares where you draw a line on the map? You think God cares about globalism? And obviously it's not consistent in terms of religion, so she immediately backtracks to, but really it's about the law. You have to abide by the law. Well, what, Jesus cares about that?
Does she abide
Jesus
by the law?
threw out the money lenders and stuff like that. Jesus was a radical. Jesus wouldn't care about the law. He'd care about what is moral, what is good. And so she is the sickest kind of flip-flopper. She uses her shallow understanding of religious dogma when it's convenient and hides baselessly behind laws she can't even cite when that's convenient.
Let's go over God's love real quick. Samuel 15:3, God commands the death of helpless suckling infants. This literally means that the children God killed were still nursing. Psalms 135:8 through 136:10, here God is praised for slaughtering little babies. Psalms 137:9, here God commands that infants should be dashed upon rocks. Real fucking pro-life of you. Leviticus 29, for everyone that curseth his father or his mother shall be surely put to death. He hath cursed his father or his mother. His blood shall be upon him. Judges 11:30 through 40. Jephthah, that's a hell of a name, killed his young daughter, his only child, by burning her alive as a burnt sacrifice to the Lord, for he commanded it. Psalms 137:8 and 9. Prayer/song of vengeance, O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed. Happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. First of all, can we update the Bible with like, can we get a couple of like Pog champs or Pause champs or like cringe in the Bible, like cringeth thou with Deuteronomy 21:18-21. This will be the last one to go over. If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him, will not hearken unto them, then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him. Oh my God, it's so hard to fucking read. Bring him out unto the elders of his city, and unto the gate of his place, and they shall say unto the elders of his city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious, he will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones, that he die. So shalt thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear. God's love. God's love. Marjorie Taylor Greene knows God's love.
If you're a religious person, you should despise everything that you just saw from Marjorie Greene there.
You know, it's really interesting because as a QAnon conspiracy theorist who's allegedly so concerned about pedophilia and sex trafficking of children and all of that, you know, out of anything that she could have criticized the Catholic Church about, including its history of fondling and raping little boys, she decided that helping migrants is what she needs to, you know, get her dander up about.
In my holy word, the Bible says brown people don't like them. Another reason not to be a Christian, because it turns out that they just, like, I don't know, like, also breed racism.
Helping migrants. Also, speaking of migrants, does she want to at all discuss the migrants who end up getting sexually abused by Border Patrol agents at our border, including children in some cases? Is she concerned?
Do we remember the Wayfair shit? Do we remember that? Where it was like, you know, oh, if you look up the serial numbers of the cabinets and stuff on Wayfair, and you put it into the ICE detention thing, it'll come up, they'll bring up a 12-year-old girl's mugshot, and it's like, if I remember correctly, no empirical evidence of that came out, and it turned out it was like all like Facebook, basically Facebook bullshit. You're a QAnoner. At least be consistent and say that you believe in the Wayfair thing. These illegals crossing our border. But what about, like, the thing that you support, which is ICE doing the thing that you say, like, Democrats are doing to kids? Like, there's no consistency here. And it's like, I wonder, I'm wondering at what point is my chat gonna be like, why are you looking for consistency in their thinking? Because there is none!
Does she think that those kids deserve to be treated the way they are, whether it's sexual assault, sexual misconduct, or being put in cages? She's not concerned about that. She doesn't care. She doesn't care because, you know, these are brown kids, and so apparently my concerns about children being abused don't really matter because viciousness toward them takes priority if they're not, you know, American citizens and don't happen to be white people.
That's
not religious. She's not religious. She's a racist. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Religion is a convenient stand-in for whiteness in this context.
That's exactly right. I mean, it's. Yep. I just like this woman. Like the thing that always stands out to me. Look, there are a lot of dumb members of Congress. A lot of them.
Yeah.
The thing that stands out to me about her is that she's an extra layer of stupid, and it's like this unearned confidence that she also like exudes, where it's like, do you know that what you're saying sounds insane?
She doesn't know.
Like so much so that members of your own party clown on you behind the scenes. Like it's, anyway, let's get to what the Bible actually says. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Lots of thys going on. But you know what I'm saying.
They were big on thys back in the day.
It didn't say like that. Thy shall follow the law before loving thy neighbor. Like it is, what?
Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself if the law shalt allow it.
Or if they're white.
That's the ultimate law that we just read. If you believe this stuff, I personally think it's nonsense. Don't mean anything. There's some good philosophy in there though, but it's not divinely, no, God actually said that stuff. But she says that she believes that. It's not, you know, if the local zoning code allows for the Bible. No, and that she doesn't actually believe it. That's the thing.
She also doesn't believe in following the law. I mean, she has provided cover for the rioters who stormed the Capitol and use all this aggression and violence while doing so in an effort to overturn the will of the people in the 2020 election. She doesn't care about laws either. She's like any other right winger who is full of crap on a number of things, including like their freedom of speech warrior stuff, right? Like, no, she wants to follow laws that are convenient for her, but other laws that are inconvenient for what she would like to see happen in this country, including the complete dismantling of our democratic system. She doesn't want to follow those laws.
If you're white, if you're conservative, if you're Christian, if you are able-bodied and able to make money and have a vile, spewing hatred for anything and anyone that is outside of that scope, let alone if they're not straight, then you're safe. You're safe. Everyone else, though, they kick them out of the country, deport them, put them in prison, execute them, call them terrorists, call them groomers, call them pedophiles, completely slander their reputation, tweet about their location as an actual insurrection on the Capitol is happening. These people are dangerous. These people are dangerous. They absolutely, unequivocally want bloodshed for anyone that is outside of that intersectional demographic. They're Nazis. And to some people, this might be, oh, no duh. But like, no, like, I'm talking about 70% of the fucking country. I'll absolutely stand by that. Absolutely. Some of them are redeemable. Some of them can be deprogrammed. We saw a study, or rather a video about a study last weekend about how Fox viewers were paid to consume only CNN content for 30 days, and they were successfully deprogrammed. There was a lot of old beliefs that were had been overridden by new, more empirical evidence on some of the things that, like, you know, was completely contrary to their Tucker Carlsons and their Megyn Kellys and all that shit, their Laura Ingrams. So there are redeemable ones. I'm not going to say that there aren't, but there are plenty who have made it clear what their intentions are, and that is pure and simple world domination. And if you do not comply, you will be enslaved as a baby factory or put to death. These people hate you with every cell in their being, which makes them the most dangerous people on the planet.
Well, I would love to follow the Bible, which clearly implies that I have a moral obligation to help out these people, to love them as myself, to draw no bizarre distinctions between people of different religions or different national origins or whatever. Okay, then change the law so that it's consistent with that. Raise the refugee cap, because you don't want, you know, too many refugees coming in above that cap. That would be against the law. So raise it. Make it easier for them to come in. Or expedite, or put more money into it. If it's the law that's hanging you up, get in there and write some legislation. Why is she pretending as if that's someone else's job? It's technically hers.
Now, she does explain what the Catholic Church should be doing instead of helping migrants. So we got one more video. Let's take a quick look at that.
Oh, God.
Here's what we should be doing. We should hold those countries accountable. Oh, I'm sorry, Guatemala, you're not getting a check this year because you have sent X number of thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of people to illegally.
What was that live moving the goalpost right there? sending these thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions, billions, trillions, quadrillions, and galaxies of these brown people to America. I'm freaking out! I hate this woman so much!
To illegally invade our country as if they're an army. They may not have guns, but they're the numbers of a regiment, of an army. And the bishops, the bishops of Catholic Relief charities and services, they should be all in support of that. They should be in support of United States politicians. If the bishops were reading the Bible and truly preaching the Word of God to their flock, like
and not covering up sex abuse,
and not covering up child sex abuse and pedophilia, yes, that would be, loving one another would have the true meaning.
The Bible condones it. It condones it. It condones it. Read your book, dude. Oh my God, dude. Here's the other thing. If you know what, hold those bishops accountable. Go ahead, hold them accountable, because I think it says somewhere about women should not speak, especially in the presence of a man. Especially in the church. And you're speaking of the church, and you're in the presence of a man. So how about this? Let's really enforce some biblical laws, or let's really uphold some biblical outlooks. Some real, actual Christian beliefs. As found in the Bible. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Hey, yeah. No one likes to hear you speak. God, what a disease, man.
Oh, yeah, the pedophilia thing. It's a little bit of an afterthought for me. But the migrants, am I right? Migrants. Those migrants. You know what they should be doing? They should be crushing them. They should be crushing them after we orchestrate coups and destabilize their countries. We should be crushing them. That's what the bishop should be doing. Yeah. Crushing people.
Crushing them.
Trying to escape the conditions that our government created in their country. We should be crushing them. She's a piece of crap. She's just a piece of crap, and she's ugly and terrible in every single way. And I mean personality-wise, internally, but also, let's keep it real, externally as well.
Get her! Get her! Yeah! Marjorie Titan Green, absolutely, yeah. Fuck her. I know they gotta be professional over at the TYT. She's a piece of crap. God, I just want to hear her say she's a piece of shit. I just want to hear it so bad, so bad. Man, we've got some dangerous motherfuckers, man. We got some dangerous motherfuckers. Like they haven't already proven it to us time and time again, that they don't give a fuck about anyone who is outside of their perfect, made in God's image mold of conservative, heteronormative white people who just want absolute theocracy and make everything about Jesus, 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 but like white Republican Jesus and not historically accurate Muslim, like brown-skinned Middle Eastern Jesus, who like literally, if we like took a time machine and brought him back to this time, if Jesus is even fucking real, brought him back to this time and meet you, he would be like, the fuck is wrong with you? Why did my father make you? Oh my God, just crucify me now. And let's be real, if the actual Jesus, like if the second coming happened and Christ himself met with Marjorie Taylor Greene, he'd be deported. Jesus, dude. Just being reminded that she exists is so just draining, man. Shut the fuck up. I don't care that you're dying.
You gonna pray for me, so you're gonna sit in your apartment and do nothing? That's what your prayers are. You sitting around and not taking action as I struggle with the situation. Don't pray for me. Make me a sandwich or something.